Sorry. Hello, everybody. Finally, NTNet exam is over. Like always, some of you found it easy, some of you found it difficult. Let us take a look at the areas from where questions were asked. Let us see what is the style in which they're asking. And maybe a lot of you who thought it is difficult may have done it well, You may pass, actually. So if you need to study once again, what will be the future strategy? I am always saying a few things that are actually correct and it is proven in the exam, but maybe you did not completely pay attention, some of you. Pay attention, please. Let us first look at the topics of paper 2, then we will come to paper 1. My area is paper 2, so I will talk more about paper 2. What are the areas in which they were asking questions from? The focus was on contemporary literature in both shifts, literary theory and cultural studies, and also Indian literary traditions, English in India, and also the classics of Indian literature, not only English literature in English, but even the Sanskritic traditions. Okay. Now, what are the conventional literature areas they asked from? Some areas were expected. They were not difficult. What are the areas? They asked questions on Chaucer and House of Fame. They asked a question on Shakespeare plays chronology. There was a question based on Sidney's Arcadia, not course. They asked the source. Sorry, that is a typo. They asked a question based on Sidney's source of Arcadia, it seems. Then there was a question on who translated Homer. Chapman. See, Cyril Tourneur, Women Beware Women or Middleton. So many questions from Jacobean period. Always I say this. There will be many questions from Jacobean period. Remember that. There will be questions on Shakespeare. 1 or 2 questions for sure. 1 question on Chaucer. And one question from, at least 1 question from the Renaissance period. Maybe 2 or 3 questions from the Renaissance period. And many questions from Jacobean period. There were at least 4 questions that I came to know. Chapman, Cyril Tourneur, and Revenger's Tragedy. Same question, actually. Women Beware Women. It is the same question, actually. Then, from the Victorian period, I heard about question based on Tractarians. These are all questions that you can answer by studying encyclopedia. Please mute yourselves, everybody. I will mute all of you. Then, there were questions based on Shelley, Shelley's last unfinished poem or something, Tennyson, chronology based on modernists, Philip Larkin's poem, Mr. Bleany, W.H. Auden and Stephen Spender. So, Auden group always they ask. Movement poets they ask. Modernist poets they ask. Then Angry Young Man, Harold Pinter. These are all easy questions actually for those who have studied. I hope you have got these correctly. Then 20th century questions. Question based on Doris Lessing. Again, if you study our volume 3 encyclopedia, you would have got it. Otherwise, you could have already studied in other ways. Question based on Old Man and the Sea and Hemingway. Somerset Maugham's The Lion's Skin. Question based on Jerome K. Jerome. Alexander Pope's essay on criticism, diary writing. These are all expected questions. I have not got all the questions, but majority of questions were actually from expected areas. So that is why many people said it was not that difficult. Exam was easy compared to earlier exam, everybody was saying. Those who studied really well, they don't want you to mug up questions. They don't want you to somehow study from somewhere. They want you to study deeply. I always say that. This is why I say research, read on your own. Based on encyclopedia and based on correct guidance of a teacher, you should read on your own. Did you understand? Then there were many questions based on genres and terms. Which of the following is not flash fiction? That kind of question was there. Then 1 question based on Nobel laureates. We know that they will ask. They have already asked such questions. Leading figures of avant-garde movements like Dadaism, Surrealism, Futurism. That question also, several times they have asked before. These are all expected. One question also based on poetry meters. Pastoral elegies. Which of the following is pastoral elegy? Which of the following is a science fiction novel? Mind you, it was not very easy. They want you to do real reading and want you to have real general knowledge. Not suddenly in 1 month. Many people tell you, many teachers I know tell you, you can study in 1 month. If you study these 10 topics, you will pass. They are misleading you. That is not how you pass. In the past, it was like that. In the past, like 5 years ago, it was like that. Now, the exam has really changed. I don't think the exam is difficult. I think that the exam is good now. It requires you to study in the correct manner. Like a university student, you should study. Did you understand? General knowledge is important and original research has become important more and more. Novels published in 1980s, 90s. If you think you can study and pass in 1 month from the scratch, if you think you can study and pass, galat fehmi hai, that is not correct. So if you found the exam difficult, right now start studying deeply. Devote like 6 months completely for this. Some people will tell you if you study for 2 hours a day, it is enough. Actually, it is not enough. That is the truth. You have to devote more time. You might be working people, you might be housewives, you might be people with jobs. What I am telling you is, it is not necessary to find big hours, 5 hours at a stretch, 3 hours at a stretch, no need. 10 hours, 10 minutes now, 15 minutes another time. Like that, in fragmented bits and pieces, you can study. And also, self-learning age is over. Right now, for exam like this, you need a guide. You need a correct guidance and correct material. So with that, it will be possible to easily pass. Okay, many of you will already pass, I know, because there were majority of questions from easy areas. And question based on heroic couplet. Now, these are all conventional, not scary. Post-colonial literature also was there. I heard that there were questions based on V.S. Naipaul's chronology, I think. V.S. Naipaul's series, India trilogy, I think. Then Margaret Atwood, Ngugi wa Thiong'o's essay, post-colonial Booker novels like Life of Pi, Remains of the Day, etc., adapted into films. Film adaptation, many questions are coming. Film adaptations are very, very important. Okay, I think I should bring out an easy handbook on film adaptations. Any of my R&D people listening to me, we have a big team, like 30-40 people R&D making content. Those of you who are listening to the video, please remind me, easy handbook on film adaptations we'll bring out in 1 or 2 months. Then Indian literature and English in India. Before the exam, right before the exam, I told you in the last video, I told you English in India and Indian literature will come. I was thinking literary theory is important. English in India is important. These two I said, and these two were important. Because there is a move towards Indian nativist traditions in NET. In NET, Indian nativist traditions, that trend has been there in the past few exams, asking about Sanskrit texts, asking about real Indian authors, even minor authors. So Macaulay's Minutes was there, Arun Kolatkar was there, Amitav Ghosh's Ibis Trilogy question was there, novels showing Indian-Irish relationship, that was there. One question on Kiran Desai, Bhagavad Gita translation, Charles Wilkins. I am going to bring out, next I will bring out Indian Literature and Encyclopedia. I think it is very, very important. I have bought like many books based on that, and we just need to sit down and work. There are so many textbooks, like big books prescribed in universities. Shishir Kumar Das, for example. So I have bought all those books and kept here. We will do it immediately. Bhavabhudi, Sanskrit poetics, one book is there, ours. My father and mother were both Sanskrit professors. I can easily do courses on Sanskrit poetics and Bhavabhudi, Uttara Ramacharita, Spoda theory, all these were asked. And then Neeraj C. Chaudhary's Continent of Circe. These are the areas. Unexpected areas from literature. What are the unexpected areas that they asked? Always there will be unexpected areas. Always there will be questions based on things that you didn't study properly. But they will be minor. They won't be the majority. Bible, based on Bible questions were there. Uttara Ramacharita, maybe you didn't think of all that. Indian literature, unusual authors were there. Authors' names that you don't know. Sanskritic traditions like Spota theory was asked. Gautra Bahadur is not Indian. She's a Guyanese American writer. Actually, this author is there in our upcoming American encyclopedia. In our American encyclopedia, I have already put Gautra Bahadur. And this author is famous because she was shortlisted for awards, etc. Canadian Multiculturalism Act. Indian acts, British acts, these we were studying, but Canada, Australia, their post-colonial countries and their acts, we should study. That is the point. Okay, I will include all that in our material also. And genres of unheard of novels. So these are all contemporary novels. You should think of you should be updated in English literature. Books and authors getting awards are very, very important. Irvine Welsh, contemporary author. He's a poet, but minor. We don't usually study him, but he has to be included. He's not even there in the encyclopedia. Vachana movement of Kannada, that also Indian literature. Shishir Kumar Das ji has written about it. We will do all that. That is actually Indian literatures in translation. Geetanjali Shri, we know, Tombs of Sand, but her short story was asked. So contemporary authors of the past who got awards, not only their award-winning novels, but other works also you should read. You should know. These are unexpected areas. I'm getting insights from all these. But they are not majority of questions, minor. Tufan is an adaptation of, I don't know that. Francis Quarles, who wrote Emblems. He's also a poet. Scottish poet, Irish poets. Actually, long ago, we have a book, Just Read. There's lots of Scottish and Irish poets are included. I will expand on those writers also. So these questions are a little unexpected. Okay. And terms used by, these are all very challenging, actually. In which author used the term inane gaudiness? Which author used the term bowling alone? That is actually very difficult, but there will be difficult questions. All questions will not be easy. There will be difficult questions. They want you to be very good scholars from BA level, read a lot. I don't know, in the syllabus that they give us, so many books and no foundation. Nobody teaches the foundations. How can you read? And what they are expecting, I don't know. How do they expect us to be so knowledgeable and so well read? I can't understand. Anyway, they are playing a trick on us. We will have the way to deal with it. Let us talk about literary criticism and theory. I am not scared of them. We know what to do. I am going to make more and more books to help you with all this. In case you didn't pass this time, don't worry at all. Literary criticism and theory. Here also, there were long statement questions to be read carefully. The questions themselves were easy, but the sentences were long. You have to be very good readers. You have to read it on your own and practice. Otherwise, in the exam hall, you will lose a lot of time reading. That happened in Northeast SLET also. The paper was so big, so many long questions, and you wouldn't get time to finish it. So what they are expecting is you should have real practice reading. Then the areas were read early text and Roland Barthes, Jacques Lacan, A Room of One's Own, contrapuntal reading of Edward Said, Elaine Showalter's A Literature of Their Own. These are all classics. If you can't complain, they're unheard of names. Their expectation, NTA's expectation is too high. You are ordinary people who have come from ordinary colleges and universities where teachers don't teach properly, classes don't happen properly, you don't get time to study because there are so many. Oh, Vande Mataram question was there. Okay. Coverdale publication. Yes. So that is all in paper one. Now, some of you are saying paper one questions. Then Homi Ke Baba, then Coleridge's quote, then The Fleshly School of Poetry by Robert Buchanan, Aporia, Plato's Views on Poets, Stuart Hall's University, Gynocriticism, New Criticism, Reader Response. They want you to be thorough with all the main theories and authors. Okay? Polyphony, bricolage, sorry for the spelling mistake, bricolage, carnivalesque, who coined the term oral history. Edward Said's, some question was there, other than contrapuntal reading, and also Empire Writes Back, year of publication, 1989. So, they are really expecting you to be thorough scholars. Did you understand? Let me give you an analysis of the paper 2 question paper. Okay. Working out PYQ is not enough. Because every time, I have said this before, many people are crazy for PYQs, previous year questions. I have said this before, every exam has a different focus and style. This time they ask more about Sanskritic traditions. Next time they will ask about European literature. Next, after that, they will ask about research. Did you understand? So if you just look at the PYQ, then it will mislead you. You will think that is what they are going to ask, but they will ask entirely differently. Did you understand? So don't be misled by PYQ. I don't like it. I don't like working out previous year questions. I like working out questions based on previous year questions. That style we should know. But even then, more and more these days in every exam, we see assertion, reason, and statement type questions. Shortcuts won't work. I see lots of YouTubers, YouTube teachers saying, I will give you shortcuts. I will give you 10 authors. Only this you should do. That is absolutely wrong. That is not how this exam is now. You should study in a very detailed manner. It will take some time, but if you have the right material and the right guidance, it won't take long. 6 months is enough, but you should devote time. Like a few hours a day, you should find where you are not distracted by anything. You know, you should manage your time. You should manage your family and resources. Did you understand? Stop doing unnecessary things. Give priority to certain things like that. You can't do all the work in the world and then half an hour you spend for it and then you will pass. It won't work like that. It won't work like that. The more time you spend, the better it is, of course. You know, all the work in the world, stop doing. Do quality work at home. Prioritize. Make your people understand for some time. Manage in some ways. And then, I know there are people who don't have supportive families and all that. But as I told you, 10 minutes now, 15 minutes. For that, you should have a plan. You should have a plan. I have to cover these topics today. I have to cover these books or these pages. I have to read it today. In the beginning, in the morning, you read for 10 minutes. After that, you read for another time, you read for half an hour. Again, 15 minutes. After that, 20 minutes. Like that, several times, if you spread out, you will be able to study. And before you go to sleep, organize everything once again, revise quickly. Make notes in brief manner, like I give you notes. Like my notes, make brief notes, keywords, identify and memorize the keywords. Be calm, be relaxed, be passionate. Then you can do it. Only yesterday, I was watching another teacher's video saying, study only for 2 hours a day and you will pass. Wrong. I thought, wrong. You should study more than that. You should study like 5 hours. But pakka 5 hour, it is not. You can study like this 10, 15 minutes, half an hour. And some days like weekends, etc., spend more time. Because assertion reason questions or statement type questions cannot be done with MCQ practice alone. MCQ practice is necessary because it helps you to guess. It helps you to understand many things. But MCQ practice alone is not enough. You need answers and explanations for the answers. Not only MCQs, you need explanations, like many of our books have. Our objective type books, many of them have big, big explanations. And those who studied with objective type books and followed our classes in YouTube and paid classes, they are saying it was easy. So remember, study deeply and passionately. I am not saying you should follow my classes or use my books. I am saying that if you do that, it is easy for you. Anyhow, only one thing you should do: study deeply and passionately and completely. Did you understand? Shortcuts, if you keep on taking, you will keep on failing. Literary theory encyclopedia is almost ready. I promise you, I will sit and work on it and do it. Promise. Then, some people think we don't need guidance. We will listen to all YouTube videos. Wrong. If you listen to too many videos, too many people, too many Telegram channels, you will only get confused. Many major areas, you will not even touch them. Don't do that. Focus is what you should not lose. Self-study from the scratch without guidance, I think, will mislead you. I don't need any teacher. I will study everything on my own. If you think, you may not do the right thing. Guidance is necessary, but not necessarily full-time guidance. Little bit of guidance, not necessarily me. I'm not saying I am the only guide. Choose a good teacher, good guide, and do research-oriented learning. What should I do? I really want to bring out a research-based study schedule for you. Shall I bring out a research-based study schedule? You should read these topics today. You should research on these topics, like that. Can I do that? It will help you if you want to do self-study. Okay? You should follow that and use good materials. ऐसे materials, please stop using. Somebody's, some kind of chote books won't work. You have to study thorough materials. Either you read on your own and big books. It will take some time, but it is good. Otherwise, use good materials. Of course, my material, I think, is good, but I'm saying not only mine, use some good material. Choose one expert teacher of Central University standards. Again, I'm not saying I am the only teacher. I am the best teacher. No, not at all. If there are better teachers than me who know more, there will be, of course. Choose them, follow them. They should be real research-based teachers. People with PhD and postdoctoral research with good international exposure, like Central University professors, like them, you should follow. Otherwise, you will be misled. Other students, senior students and people who are doing shortcuts-based study, they will mislead you, I'm telling you. Very, very important insight I get is go Indian. Indian logic questions were there in paper 1, Indian literature-based questions. Of course, if you want our material, the best is encyclopedias. American Literature Encyclopedia is almost ready, coming out, especially volume 3 for contemporary literature. Bodhi tree encyclopedias or other material also, like that you should follow. Okay, then paper 1. I'm not an expert in paper 1. I don't claim to know everything, but this is what many students told me, and also our Panacea team told us. Panacea paper 1 classrooms are my previous students, their company. They are teaching at tests. They are very good, dedicated teachers, and they gave me this list. Math and science related questions were there. Assertion, reason, and statement type in paper 1 also. Teaching aptitude questions. MOOCs based on MOOCs. MOOC classrooms. Then NPTEL's platform is maintained by whom? Formative, summative evaluation and assessment. Some assertion, reason on classroom teaching. Learner-centric education. These were the main areas in teaching aptitude. Students and Panacea people are telling me they were all, many of this was discussed in the classroom itself. They are not difficult questions. Expected only. Then research aptitude, match the following research types with characteristics was there. Communication questions were there, characteristics of communication, interpersonal communication, LAN, WAN, those questions. Then mode of transmission in various media. Is it electromagnetic waves or satellite, etc.? Then logical reasoning questions, square of opposition. I'm so sorry. This is some, what was this? Syllogism, I think. What? Some typo it is. Middle term related questions. Was it typo? I don't know what that is. Syllogism is there. Then environment related questions. Indian logic. Oh, okay. Indian logic was there. Yeah. Sorry. What was that? Kevalanvayi. I don't know anything about it. Syllogism. Okay, Indian logic. I don't know anything. Luckily, when I studied, all that was not there. But Panacea team will work on all that and teach you. Then environment related questions. Biomass, carbon sink, global warming, air pollutant, arsenic, magnitude of noise, biogas releasing CO2, etc. ICT file extensions were asked. Higher education questions, 3-language formula, how higher education is important for the growth of the country, ancient system of education, etc. In maths also, there were many maths related questions, speed, time, distance, selling price, profit ratio, percentage, logical reasoning. Once again, I have put, I'm sorry, that was a mistake. So my understanding from all that I heard from the hundreds of thousands, almost over 1,000 students from TEST have written this exam. Over 1,000. In the previous batch itself, in the online class itself, there were like 1,000 students. Did you understand? So, and all these people have come and they are studying with our material. It is not suddenly one day possible. You have to take time and study. I just love this exam style. I think this exam style is awesome because it makes you real scholars. I know that you're desperate to pass, but when you analyze the exam and study in the right manner, in a research-oriented manner, you will become real scholars. The pains that you take now will give you an amazing career. Isn't that awesome? You know, otherwise, you will struggle all your life if you somehow pass. Somehow, if you pass, you won't be able to meet the standards of UGC and NTA later on. They will expect you to do big things, isn't it? So this exam style is awesome. Please don't complain. I hear after that every time people complaining, self-pity. You know, NTA is this, NTA is that, we should fight them. If there is injustice, of course, you should fight. But for asking tough questions, of course, I know that it is unfair because our education system is not that great. But it is actually helping you to improve. You are learning more. So let us study. I'm there to help you. My team, my 30 plus research and development team and test team, me, all of us will work like anything and help you. Free courses, paid courses, whatever you want is there. Don't panic. Don't worry. This exam is not so bad. Many of you will pass. But if you still need help, we are there. I know that you can do it. You will be able to do it because it is not that unexpected and that difficult. So relax, sleep well. I hope that many of you would pass this time itself. Otherwise also, the picture is not bleak. We are growing into scholars and it is not easy. It can't be happening overnight. Did you understand? It is NTA's mistake that they didn't teach us from our first BA onwards. Koi nahi, at least now better late than never. Main hu na, hum hai na, we can do it. Okay, I'm there. I will come live in YouTube and teach you for free. In paid classes also, I'm completely revising the PDF and adding more and more according to all the latest exams. Don't worry. Okay, so that is my understanding of this exam. I hope it has helped you. You will benefit from it. I'm actually happy. When you're doing such a big thing, it won't be very easy actually. So I'm stopping live. Thank you all. God bless you. I will be back. Okay, stopping live. Bye.